I didn't start playing guitar until I was 17 or 18. And I didn't start singing until I was 21. I mean, besides, like, in the car. But I was really bummed. I'm like, damn, I wish I had done this earlier. I could have figured this shit out.
Well, I wish I could have been one of those drum prodigies that started playing when I was
like
3.
6, yeah. But didn't you play when you were like 10 or something?
I started when I was 11.
Yeah, that's fine. That's young.
Yeah. But also...
I'm disappointed. I started when I was a child.
Well, I got it. The funny thing is, I had a guitar before I ever had drums because I watched Drake and Josh, and Drake Bell had a guitar, and I was like, he's the cool guy in the show. I want a guitar. And I just had it, and I, bummed around on it a couple times throughout my youth. But I wish I had taken them both seriously at the same time, because then now I would be a better guitar player.
Yeah, but your drum skills were wicked because of that, though.
Yeah, I think so. For all the people on YouTube, sorry it cut out. I don't know why it did that. YouTube just shut down and the live stopped. So
shut up, YouTube.
We're gonna call this part 2 of the podcast with Aaron Elrod of the Host Club. You didn't really miss much after it crashed.
You were like half paying attention to one another and like, where is a cord?
We talked about politics, but it's irrelevant because we're both super fucking neutral on politics in general, so it's not going to sway anybody in any direction. If anything, we both just kind of don't care.
So do your thing. People,
that's life.
That's the part either.
Music, everything we've talked about, it's basically been here's what I do, here's how I feel about it.
Yeah, right.
Do whatever you want to do. I don't give a shit because I don't have to live your life. I don't have to go to bed at night being like, fuck, I'm this person.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, though. I think that's a good way to live. Like, live and let live. Just try not to step on toes if you can help it. If you do, then it's all right. Be forgiving of other people.
Oh, part of what we talked about that they did miss was what I liked about your music.
Oh.
And I feel like that's very important. Sorry for the podcast listeners, I'll make this super short, but for YouTube, basically what I said is what I love about the Host Club and Aaron's writing is the authenticity of it, the emotion and the heart behind it. It's not generic. He's not you've never pulled lyrics from other songs and kind of stitched together this fabricated narrative. You've always, it's written from the heart, it sounds like you, and I can tell you that I thoroughly enjoy your music because I can pick out specific parts in your music that resonate with me.
Thank you.
I feel like I just used a lot of big words there.
You did, it was very elegant and poetic and like sort of like, thanks.
A lot of syllables. I feel like I was saying a lot of syllables.
It was eloquent.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
And now it's on the record forever. People can be like, oh, he's not a dum-dum.
He does like their stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Or he's a great ass kisser on podcasts. No.
But see, that's the thing is I'm not. It's
no, you aren't as a person.
Yeah. When it comes to
You're just going to be quiet if you want to say something shitty. Usually. You're like,
Or I just go, well.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like your perspective. It's nice.
Even at my work when they're like,
oh no,
yeah, you just need to buckle down and work harder. Are you going to come in this Saturday? Are you going to work this Saturday? And I go, I don't know. We'll see. I never go, yeah, totally, I'm going to work harder. You know why? Because I don't want to be a fucking fraud.
Yeah,
I don't want people to be like, hey, you said you liked my music,
and then
but you don't know shit about it. Yeah. If anything, I'm not a lying person, but this definitely will keep me honest. I started...
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. And that's just for fucking lying in general. Then you gotta almost remember 2 lives.
Yeah, but, that's a really good point. Yeah, you do. You have to remember, like, what did I say about that person?
Yeah. Well, I started a vlog, and I wore this shirt yesterday. Podcast people don't know that because I was wearing a hoodie for last night's podcast. But I was like, fuck, this vlog is really gonna keep me up to date on actually changing my shirt every day. But here's what the thing about it is, I get off of work at 5 o'clock, and then I put on a t-shirt until about 9 o'clock. So that's 4 hours. So if I wear the same shirt 2 days in a row on a work day, that's 8 hours total, which is what I would wear it if it was wearing it for a full day. So if you have a problem with that, fuck you. That's all I have to say about that.
Yay, truth. Well, I smell like horse shit half the time because I work at a barn.
There's a lot of truth on this podcast. There's no sugarcoating. It's all just...
Hey, I don't, let's be real.
But that's what I want. I said in the first episode that I don't want this podcast to be fake. I don't want it to sound like I'm just trying to get listeners and appeal to everybody. Not everybody's going to agree with me. And I'm totally prepared for that. That's the fun thing.
Even if you don't agree with people, it's like, when I hear them talk that shit, and I'm going to be angry and tweet about it or whatever.
You want to listen to the podcast and make yourself angry and live a miserable life, it's all on you, buddy. I'm not going to listen to your podcast if it frustrates me because I got better things to do. And personally, I don't like being frustrated. It's not one of my favorite things.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes outrage is exciting.
I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple people on Instagram that I do follow that bug the shit out of me, and like I'll scroll down, see their picture, and go,
okay, what's wrong with me? I do that sometimes where I'm like, I just keep them on there. I hate them. And then I see their stuff and I knew it's the same shit I'm always gonna be mad about, and I'm like, fuck you. And then I just still look at it and I'm like, I wonder what they're gonna do next time. Is it gonna make me as angry as this time?
And you scroll down to it the next time and you go, okay, I knew it. I knew you were gonna do this.
You're that piece of shit. I always knew you were.
Still, not surprised.
No, I still do that. I still it's like having an ex.
Yeah.
Well, I been with, truth bomb, been with like one person my whole life.
Your boyfriend now?
Yes.
Really?
One, my whole life. Yeah.
Were you with him when I was in the band the first time?
No. I was in the lone thing, man.
Okay.
My desperation into music.
Well, that's...
Morrissey style.
Yeah. Well, you weren't just, out there.
I wish I was in a relationship, da-da-da. Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, that's intelligence at its best. You didn't want to waste any time.
Sometimes it's just like, it just didn't work out. Maybe I'm too picky. Or just mean. Probably. Some people aren't picky enough. I'm like...
Exactly. It's never good to settle on anything. Bringing it back full circle to the songwriting, you settle on a song, you put it on the record, you put it out, and you gotta live your whole life knowing that I half-assed this piece of material to, fill time on a record.
That is something people don't know who don't do this.
They're about filler songs?
Yeah, they're like, oh no, you mean everything. But that one doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
And usually people, one thing I tell everybody who listens to music is, I'm like, you have a better ear than you think. Because if you hear a certain song and you're like, I don't like that song. It's probably garbage. It's probably like inauthentic and not well done.
It was just stitched together to fill time.
And people can sense it, even if they can't describe why.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's good about my brother Alex. He's always like, Adam and I are really musical, but Alex is more like, that sucks because of this.
Yeah.
He's like, it feels like bullshit. I call bullshit on it.
That's good to have the different perspectives, like, because somebody who can't exactly explain why, it's kind of like a filtered search. When you filter your search and you plug in all these things, these little critiques, like that's the fucking list that you're running down. And so you're thinking about every single aspect, but Alex can give you the perspective of an actual consumer of the music,
Our producer's the same way. He's really good about he's like, I don't always know what makes a song sound good. I mean, he's brilliant, but he's like, I just know if I like it. And he's like, that's a consumer mentality.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you had said something really profound that I was off tracking. you said, oh yeah, you have to live with, I did this and it's out there and I can't take it back.
Yeah.
That is
don't say which one it is, because then everybody will avoid that song when, you know, it could possibly be someone's favorite song.
I don't really.
You're just never gonna hear it live.
But I don't really put stuff out. I don't believe it.
Neither do I.
I try really hard.
There's nothing on any, especially any Backseaters material. There's never been anything that I didn't get stoked about.
Good.
And I mean, there are some songs, like the first draft of Phantom that I wrote, I was like, this is alright. But what's crazy is the thing that changed it for me is I put a capo on that first fret, and then I sang it, you know, a little higher, a little differently, and then I got these harmonies for it, and then I was like,
that can make all the difference.
I love this song.
So I had this song that I gave to you to play at the end, so people will hear it. It's not on a record yet.
Yeah.
But I had played this song since I was like 26. I wrote it, and it's about failure, which is a really good song to be releasing right now. So the next project we're gonna do is gonna be called Failure to Launch.
Okay.
Because we had someone say that about us. One of our in-laws was like, yeah, they failed to launch. They kind of suck dick, you know. And we're like, So we're kind of playing on that, and we're like, I'm not gonna let that get me down. I'm gonna own that and be like, hey, here's a few songs that feel like that, because this is what it. So the song, to your point, I had played it for years and I hated it. I love the lyrics and I love the melody, but I'm like, it just never came together. So I popped a capo on like the second fret, and I sang it a tone up, and I was like, and then all of a sudden the power of your voice, like you're probably talking about the song on the Phantom, and then the new harmonies and the things that you start to hear and feel with it.
It's the sweet spots in your brain.
It can totally do that.
Yep.
So I was like riffing on the bridge I came up with, and I was like, now I love this song.
Yeah.
And then I made it work with the production, but it took me 7 drafts.
Wow.
7 drafts, probably at least.
I've definitely done that with songs.
If you believe in it.
Yeah.
So it took me.
But there, on the adverse side of that, you really got to know when you have to lay something to rest.
Absolutely.
Because you could be chasing something, and you know, 9 times out of 10, when I'm chasing something, I ask myself why I'm chasing it.
Good.
And usually it's because I think it's going to be catchy and people are going to like it.
That's weird.
Which is not a good perspective to have if you're a songwriter and you want to perform songs that you actually feel.
I have such weird feelings about that, because I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
But I've had 2 or 3 songs that like Swear You Off on the record, as well as Let Go. Let Go got placed on a cable TV show. You know how many times I had to rework that song? And how it, to the point where I was like, I'm just trying to make this work. And it's the one that got placed. And I'm like, I don't know. Good instincts, I guess.
That's
but
insane.
sometimes working hard at it works. But you're right. There is a huge point as a songwriter where you go, throw that song in the garbage.
Yeah.
It's not good. Take the heart of the points that were true. And if a new song comes up that's similar, you can marry it a little bit.
Yep.
I've done that before. It's a little stitching, a little patchworky.
I do that a lot with lyrics.
But yeah, if you got something good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that. I borrowed from old stuff, and I'm like, this is too good to let go. Or maybe I'm just like full of myself, and I'm like, oh, you're so poetic and philosophical. Don't let that go.
Every artist has back burner songs, and like Bob Dylan said about Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. When he wrote it, he was super young, and he didn't really know. He said that he didn't really know what it meant. He didn't really feel it. Thank God it wasn't a back burner song. But a lot of times I feel like that's what happens. And I was talking to Phil from Water Aerobics about it last night, that songwriting is fucking weird, because you pull this thing out of nowhere, this piece of music that doesn't exist, and you pull it out of nowhere and make it. And maybe sometimes you get stoked on this idea, write this song, but you're like, I don't exactly feel it. But then you come back to it. It's like some albums, like The National, their album High Violet, I didn't get it. And then I came back to it 2 years later, and I was like, I feel every single lyric on this song. You know, so I don't think it's a bad thing to have back burner songs.
No, but I'm gonna switch a little bit up and say, it might sound totally douchey, but whatever. Like, the reason the Greeks had an idea of the muses is because of that concept of, where does this come from? There's this, like...
Yeah.
Like, I had a song I wrote called Tomorrow on our album, and most people are like, that's my favorite song because I connect to it. And I wrote it so fast. Because it just happened. It was like your subconscious.
Yeah.
And so one weird thing I did on this record, I want to say, due to that point of pulling it out of nowhere, the ancient poets had an idea that they call on the muses and say, hey, give me inspiration, you know?
Bless me, bitch.
Yes, exactly. So the Christian version is, you know, God give me some inspiration. So Dante wrote that in the beginning of his great work, which is considered the greatest, you know, poetry ever written.
Yeah.
By most people. So I took the line in Italian, O muse o alto ingegno maitate, which is like, O muses, divine voice, come and speak these things I want to say well.
That's really
And so that's the first song on our record. It's called Invocation. It's called an invocation when you say,
okay,
give me this power, and it's bizarre that I did that.
Because you're invoking.
You're invoking it. And then the Innocence Experience is referring to William Blake's childhood poetry. So it's douchey, but...
I think the last time I played with you guys, we definitely played Constellations.
Undefeated?
I think maybe Undefeated.
Yeah, we did Undefeated.
But yeah, what Flash of Life is the name
Flash
of the
of
album.
Life is the name of the album, and it, when Alex and I...
It's on Spotify, iTunes.
Check it out, peeps. And Alex's dog was our family dog.
Yeah.
This is a weird aside as well. When he died in 2014, we were all in a weird place in life. All of our lives were transitioning, and when he died, it was like this anchor to your life and to youth. That when he was gone,
I love dogs way more than most people.
Yeah, well, it was so weird. It killed us.
Yeah.
He was almost a symbol of that life we lost.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he was gone, I remember writing the lyrics, and I was like, I wrote it in a way that was like, he's looking down on us, which sounds funny, but I thought it was it's kind of a ghost, it's the phantom thing, which is so creepy. Because we're like, are you looking down or chasing us through, you know, these fields we used to run through and stuff? It sounds so cheesy, but... And it's saying, the point of calling it Flash of Life was that the song ends with, or the album ends, or the chorus ends with, we all grow up and we all get old. And it's this weird, like, oh my God, like, we're so old now. And it's not a negative thing.
And
it's
it
like
happens so fast.
It does, and it's not even negative. It's like, enjoy what you have, and enjoy, you know, I know it sounds so cliche.
The youth, or what is the saying? Something is wasted on the youth, or youth is wasted.
Youth is wasted on the young, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And so it's like, just enjoy everything, and don't. It's a flash of life. It really is. It's just here and gone. So cliche as it is, it's true. You know.
On the smallest level of that, I try and be so in the moment on Friday nights because I'm like, it's the start of the weekend. Because you get to Monday and you're like, what the fuck happened to my weekend? Yeah. So I try and like hone in on like, I'm here on Friday. Saturday, I got to sleep in. I am here and enjoying it, and I'm holding it as tight as I can.
Until 12. This is good. Fuck. So it was fun to do. We did have to take...
When did this one come out? Was it last year or 2 years ago?
It came out like about 8 months ago. February.
Okay.
So in the last song I did have to take off of the record because we had sampled Utada Hikaru, which is my favorite J-pop singer.
Okay.
And they were like, you're going to get in trouble. So they took it off. That was
because you couldn't get permissions or something?
Well, you can't. She's like sold 50 million albums or something.
Yeah.
So you can't really like, hey, Utada, we're nobodies in Colorado.
Well, Death Cab for Cutie got a Yoko Ono sample
really?
On their new album. Yeah, on their song Gold Rush.
Oh, yeah, I heard that actually.
Yeah.
I forgot they did that.
So
I was sad because I made it work, and I loved the song because it was all, this is how geeky we are. I took a sample from an SNES Super Nintendo game, and so I wrote a whole song over this 40 seconds. So see what you think of that song when you're done.
Okay.
It's bizarre. and it summarizes the album, and then a few of the themes from the other songs come into it. I just changed the key to fit the song, so it was like I spent the most time on that song, and there it goes. Damn. So I was pretty upset about that, but it's on the CD, so hey, now you have the illegal copy.
That's what B-sides are for.
Except I gotta take Utada out still, or they'll sue me.
Fuck them.
I know, but then I'll be more poorer than
How are they gonna know? You know?
That's what I thought, because they're like, should we know about any of the album here with the sampling? This sounds actually, we had to change another sample that was from Zelda too.
There's internet code algorithms that go through.
I know, it's
wait.
This is not acceptable.
Hold your horses there, Mr. Club.
Mr. Utada. Mrs. Utada.
Mr. Host Club. What do you think you're doing?
Because we wanted to do
You are white. That's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, do that. I know, but we're not very diverse. Considering we're all related.
You are white.
But we do have wigs on it,
Yeah.
Pink hair, since I don't have hair anymore. Because of age. I blame testosterone.
I have gray hair. Fuck yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, I do. I'll show you when I
believe
take
you.
these headphones off. A lot of stress. Playing music, it'll give you gray hair. 100%.
It will, and to the note of the whole, when I saw your name of the podcast, Don't Start a Band, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, don't start a band. And then I listened to your first episode, and you're like, I'm actually saying to do it. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, because I was so jaded and old and negative that I'm like, yeah, don't start a band, nobody.
I feel like anybody who has played music for a little while, the first time they read that title, they go, yeah, fucking.
That's what I did.
But it's more like a
You're
don't
right.
start a band, ... until you know these things.
Yeah, and also, it doesn't matter if you and I never get anywhere. Like, this is a fucking amazing thing to get to do.
100%.
It
I'll
is.
never forget, like, my most memorable shows are with you guys. Opening for Blink, playing a sold-out show at the Fox Theater, like...
The Gothic. I loved the Gothic.
We played at the Gothic. That's the one and only time I've played at the Gothic
and it was
Theater.
Epic.
Yeah.
We did that whole like intro and I sang that weird country thing, and then we went remember? And you were like,
and
it was
I bullied you into doing a backflip when I was in the band.
That's
because you could do a standing backflip, and
and he's like, do it.
Begged you every show, please, backflip.
And the funny thing was, because like, if you had been like the gymnast, like lead singer, oh my god, people would have been electrified. But I'm like, so like dry, and I'm like, no, I will do a backflip. Ta-ta, looks like you know what, backflip. Just out of context completely.
Oh, fuck.
So anyway, but this was so great. We need to do another one for like 4 hours that no one will listen to, but we will, and be like, we're amazing.
You know what? I listen to 4-hour podcasts.
I do sometimes.
You know who Ben Shapiro is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know him.
Yeah.
Do you know who Steven Crowder is?
Yes.
He's the say something totally crazy,
like,
change my mind. Yeah, I listened to a 4-hour podcast with him today. That was crazy. But what are your plans for the future here? I know you're writing new material.
I'm always writing because this is what I do. It's just what you do too.
Yeah, I can't not do it.
No, you just can't not.
Phil said the most profound thing last night. He said, real musicians don't. You don't play music because you want to. You play music because you have to.
Yeah, and they asked C.S. Lewis, the guy who wrote Narnia. He's my favorite author, and they said, how do you write books? And he said, it's an itch, and if I don't scratch it, I'll go crazy.
I just become a shitty, bitter.
You have to do it.
Turd if I don't play music.
It's so strange, but yeah, our goal is we have a good publishing deal. We work with a really good studio. They mix our stuff wonderfully. We split.
What's the studio called?
Consonance Productions.
Shout out to Consonance.
They're amazing. Yeah, check them out down off Mississippi and Broadway. Really good work, and he mixes the movie trailers.
Really?
Like Iron Man. Like he mixes those trailers. So it's an honor to have that kind of talent mixing our stuff, and he believes in us. I don't know why.
Well, he has Grammys, doesn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's worked with No Doubt, Madonna.
It's crazy because there's so many people, like, regardless of No Doubt and Madonna, when the Grammys happen, there's so many people that get Grammys. They're just not at the award show.
Oh yeah, well because they're like bullshit. Let's be honest. Like it's a fucking like Bruno Mars. He wins everything. Yeah, he's good, but give someone else a chance. God.
Yeah.
And
the award for most syllables in a word goes to
you,
the host club.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, we're gonna put out a new album. Like I said, Alex told me yesterday he came up with the cover. It's a little kid building a big Lego castle, and then these adults are standing around crushing it. It's called Failure to Launch.
Nice.
So we're stoked about it just because we're not always gonna do this.
Yeah. So
That's what we do.
They are helping you record it?
Yeah, Adam does lead guitar stuff, and Alex is more of a production person right now.
Yeah.
So, but I do most of it right now. I do everything. Except for guitar, Adam does the guitar stuff, but
yeah.
I love the you know me. I'm a megalomaniac, I gotta do everything.
But you're not, though. You keep saying that, and like...
Maybe it's an inside perception.
That's the beautiful thing about this podcast, too, is like, maybe, you know, in any other context, if you were like doing an interview, people would be like, holy shit, this guy is full of himself. But like, you can hear it you can hear the humility in your voice, because you're like, I'm a megalomaniac, but it's so like, yeah, you say it and you don't mean it 100%. You're talented, you're modest, and you know, you just believe in what you do.
I do, and that's not you don't have to be proud to believe in what you do.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So tell us about the song we're gonna end the podcast.
Oh, I'll tell you about it. I'm really, really. This is the best description of what it's like to struggle to be where you're at without hitting the success you wanted. It's called The Losers Anthem, and it's basically saying, is it okay if I don't win? Is it okay if I fucking fall on my face at the finish line while everybody else goes past me? Is that okay? And then, the bridge is I might be most proud of that than anything I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because I wrote this a few months ago, and I had written the song years ago, the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because it's like it personifies truth, and she's this beautiful woman. And the lyric is what is the lyric? It's like the lies you tell yourself grow weak until they're not enough. In truth, she breaks in your window, and you have to make up. So it's saying like you're trying to escape what the reality is. But eventually you're barred in this place, you're not gonna let anybody in, and truth breaks in, and she
like drugs.
I hope not. But she surprises you not with a beating, but with I'll pull you away from the edge, and I'll remind you what this really means. And so to me, I was like, I got this one right. And I hope people hear it, and I hope they can say, if you fuck up, if you fail, if you feel like nobody, so do the rest of us. And it's totally fine.
A lot
do
of
your
us.
thing.
You just never, and honestly, the people who do fall on their face, you don't really hear about that as often. Like, you don't hear about you hear about the winners. Mm-hmm. It's always
and it's okay, like,
even though the people who fell on their face and got back up, maybe that they didn't make it up to the top, but the fact that they didn't stop, that's way harder than just getting your lucky break and shooting out of the fucking atmosphere. So.
And you learn so much about yourself and about what you care about. And I think that's when really good music comes up. Because people are writing it not because they're getting paid millions, but because they're like, I love this, and this has to come out of me or I'll go crazy.
This is probably the most philosophical podcast I've done yet.
That's my job.
Beautiful. Many life concepts, and I think everyone's going to enjoy it.
It was fun.
Yes,
Let's do it
100%.
I like how we could like before the podcast we talked for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's like let's try to like next time we'll start it earlier. Except
we'll set it up on a Saturday. Yeah, and you know we can get out all the other subjects we talked about. We can get all that out, and then by the time we go live, then all we'll have to talk about is the musical stuff.
Exactly.
So, but you're definitely, you know, this isn't a one-time thing where the guests are just going to be on one time,
like,
you know.
We have to do things.
You're definitely coming back on.
Lots of fun. So I'll make sure that happens.
Hell yeah.
I'll blow up your fucking phone, bitch. Like, you'll never get rid of me.
It's fine, because
like a bad
you'd be the only one.
Are you still love me? I don't even know. I'm so worried right now. I'm checking out your Facebook status, and why are we not hanging out? Why are you there without?
You just posted.
You
You were
with
just
her.
on your phone. You didn't reply. You were looking at. Anyway.
So it's been real.
Thank you for coming on the Don't Start a Band podcast.
It's awesome.
If you heard that, that was a fist bump. And
I forgot you to say that.
This is the Losers Anthem by the Host Club.
Thanks, guys.
We're good. For all the people on YouTube, sorry it cut out. It's not my fault.
We had fun though.
It just, all of a sudden, it was just done. I'm glad that the first part that we didn't lose it. So, and we basically summed up what we talked about when the YouTube live went down. So, thank you guys so much. And yeah, hopefully that never happens again. Hopefully. Also, subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music. Subscribe, please. Leave a comment, like it, do what you gotta do.
Bye. It's awesome.